so many teams that are in that spot right now. Well, actually, even Pittsburgh, the Steelers as well, right? Kenny Pickett's not looking much better either.
Well, yo, let's sit there right quick. We know we got family that is all about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and no disrespect to them. But, I mean, we got to really call it what it is. Like, I watched him in college, and I thought he was a gutsy, great quarterback. But he has not impressed me in these couple years that he's been in the league.
Yeah, see, and you know what? I'm not going to sit here and try and talk about Pittsburgh Steelers stats because I haven't watched a whole bunch of their games. I'll be completely honest. But from what I do know and from what I have heard from Steelers fans, he's not the guy. And he's not doing what everybody thought he was going to do. And especially considering the team that is around Pittsburgh right now, like they are winning. I think they're still technically in the wild card spot, right? But regardless, yeah, it's let's call it what it is. He's in the category of Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell, whether people want to believe it or not. Like that's not far fetched. It's not a hot take.
I think we have to ask this question: when is it too soon to call it could be a bust? We look at Justin Fields and we're like, yes, oh my God, up in the draft and everything, and he has disappointed. You look at Sam Howell, who's been really gutsy and this and that, but he has his issues. Kenny Pickett, Mr. Small Hands, who we love, when can you say these guys are busts? Because they've been struggling. Zach Wilson.
I don't know. It depends, though, in my opinion. I think it's dependent. There's a lot of factors that play into this, right? You got to look at the team. You got to look at, the coaching, right? Yeah. And honestly, time's a big thing as well, right? And just, how soon a team is going to use that quarterback. In my opinion, I don't think Justin Fields is a bust. I actually think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. The stats that the guy's been pulling out, regardless of him being on Chicago, have been awesome. I just think that he might not be the right fit in Chicago. So I wouldn't necessarily call him a bust yet. I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Typically, what you want for a quarterback is you want him to sit for at least a year. You want him to kind of get that veteran experience and that practice.
That's the best scenario.
Yeah. And, have him sit for a year, kind of understand the play calling, understand what works, what doesn't work, right? Really kind of wrap his head around what the game is. Because, college is a very different game than the NFL, right? So I think, in my opinion, if you have a quarterback that is on his second starting year and he isn't, giving you a plus 500, in my opinion. And again, this is also to the, the mercy of what your schedule is like too. Which is completely random, then at that point, he's not the guy and you need to move on, right? Because your rookie deal is you're usually looking at 3 years?
Yep, about five. Yeah, because fourth you can get that 5th year option. Yeah, so but mainly after 3 is when you start to know. Yeah. If you got to go into year 4 and year 5 and it's still in question, then maybe you already know what's going on.
In the case of Washington and Atlanta, I would have definitely going into my next year, knowing that Desmond Ridder has and Sam Howell have a year or two, I would start looking for a quarterback if you have a gut feeling that he's not the guy. Because if you have a gut feeling now that he's not the guy, then he's probably not the guy.
Right. And see, I think with us in Washington, you have EB that just came in here. You know what I mean? So we already have the established Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio on defense, things like that. But you have EB here, and, there's rumors that he's going to be the next head coach, whatever, what have you. I'm not going to buy and feed into any of that because I need to see him as an offensive coordinator. What I've seen, I liked. And to be honest, EB is coming in here trying to get out from under the shadow of Andy Reid. Because everybody says Andy was the guy and you were just a play caller. You didn't even do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and I hate that. I hate to hear that. So now seeing with us, if anybody needs to see what EB can do, Washington last year averaged about 17 to 19 points a game. This year, we've averaged between about 25 points a game. We've had 2 games with 20 or more and three or four with 30. So he's doing what he needs to do. But I just feel like at a certain point, you got to give a guy a chance. Maybe for you had him for a while. But with Sam, I think they got to stick with him and just let him work. Let him see what he does. Let him make the mistakes.
I agree.